on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XL. Alright, welcome back to Check This Out. The show we take a look at, we want to take a look at. We're going to be a troll deck, rogue deck, casual deck, meta deck, and have ourselves a good old time with it. Today, everybody, have a very, very interesting build here that was sent to us via our Discord. This is a unholy combination of Tearlaments, Volcanics, K9's, and Ashened ones. It's a very interesting deck here. I wish there was a cool anagram for that, but instead we're just calling this one the Tears of the Ashened Kingdom. And so we've got ourselves our deck here today. We're showing them wombos and combos and what do's and what not do's, and have ourselves a good old time setting up a whole bunch of different strategies to confound and confuse our opponent. So, as always, big old shout out to Mr. Harry Yu and his buddy over on the Dueling Book who made us this deck and wanted us to show it off today. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to head on to yugioh Pro, show off some duels with this deck. I have a replay from stream testing this, and I'd like to show that off at the end. But for now, we're going to go do some live duels on yugioh Pro, show off what this deck does, and have ourselves a good old time. So enough talking, hit up all the buttons, let's get ourselves started, and go for the gold. Alrighty, everybody, our first opponent, another day, another card game. Now with this deck, we can go first or second. It's got a little bit of A column, a little bit of B column. It's got a lot of different strategies to it, so there's a lot of different times you can go first, a lot of times you go second. With this hand, a little bit of both, honestly. It's a nice hand for getting things set up for later, I would say. Because I've got my Jokel, I've got Extinguisher of the Ash, and I get my other K9 monster. I've got two Tearlaments, and I've got a Volcanic Emperor I can set up. So, all in all, it's the perfect illustration of how this deck goes, that we just have all these different strategies we can do. So what the heck am I up against here? Draca Slayers, Magispectors, a little bit of A and B too. Hard to say. It appears to be Pendulum Wizards of some variety. Let's see. If this card was special summoned, based on the other monster you control, which you control none others. So, okay. So he's got this Pendulum Wizard dude. That's fine by me. Let's see. I was really hoping for Hex Seal Fusion or something. You can go into Kid Kalos if you have him or the King of the Swamps. That would be cool. But for now, we're going to go ahead and activate Tearlament's Sharon, which is like the best Tearlament to start off in this deck, really. You just special summon this from your hand by ditching a monster, and then milling 3 of the cards from your deck. Let's see. Didn't mill anything I really wanted to mill, but that's A-okay. For now, we're going to go into Tearlament's Reinhardt and use his effect to ditch one of our other Tearlament monsters so I can perform a fusion summon. So we're going to go ahead and ditch to the ground. And I could also ditch Kastra, but I like to keep that as an emergency thing. So we're going to ditch Havness for now. Just going to go drop a big old fusion on my opponent. That sort of thing. So we'll go for Tearlament's Kaleidahart. Using, yep, these 3 Tearlaments. That way I can just use them all later. Very nice indeed. And summon out the big boy. Now because this guy got special summoned, I can target one of my opponent's cards. Shuffle it back into the deck. Let's see. Hard to say what I should spin. I'm going to spin a scale. I feel like that's better to hit than anything else. Probably. Maybe. But for now, let's go for Extinguishing the Ashened. Now, this card, normally using this to ditch your Ashen monsters, get them all set up, search Vados. But a cool thing you can do with the K9's is actually ditching K9 Lantern and then recovering K9 Lantern. Actually, I could have ditched Vados too for that one, but it works either way. We're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Jakul, revealing Lantern and herself in the hand and softening them both. Now, it is a thing you can only summon, like, non-light exceeds here. I would have loved it if I could summon Paradise Smash right now, but with that guy, you usually have to wait a turn. Ooh, Nibiru. Yeah. Growth. The gut thing. Growth and nasty. I don't like it. Alright, so we have to deal with that token. But luckily, Kaleidahart does have his effect, because he was sent to the graveyard. I do get to bring him back, and then ditch another Tearlament card I would like to ditch to the graveyard. So I'm going to go ahead and send our Kashira Tearlament now, so I can mill some more cards. See, our deck, we have outs to Nibiru. We have little outs to that, not too shabby. And because I have so many Ashened Pyros on the grave now, I can summon out my Volcanic boy. See, that's what I'm talking about with this deck. We have all these different strats and things. My opponent doesn't know what to do with what we're trying to do. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We hadn't even gotten to the Ashened all that much. This is just Tearlaments, and it's just Volcanics, and a little bit of K9, a little bit of Bow Wow Doggy Time. Let's see here. Let me double check the fusion. Let's see, 2 Pyra monsters. That'd be him, but I don't have my field spell in the graveyard, so I'm not gonna do that. I could fusion summon now. I could go into my Ashened fusion numero uno, but that's more of a card we go into when our field spells in the grave. I don't think my grave. Let's see, it's always the buttons. Let's see, that's my band. Okay, F1. There we go. Field spell. No, I got my field spell searcher in the grave because of course I do. But this works too. Yeah, Kaleida Heart will just attack him directly, and we don't even know what this is yet. That's the thing. Double any bad damage to the monster inflicts your opponent's turn on battle opposed monster. Okay. So this, I don't think you can use double Irish Magician right now. Don't think so. So I think we are A-okay. I think we will be fine. Just triple checking myself. We're good. We're good in the hood. I've got Kaleida Heart on the board. If my opponent tries to blow him up, well, they're in for a rough time because he's just going to keep coming back. I've got my big old Nibiru token. And, King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp. I want King of the Swamp right now. I don't want this guy right now because this would have been perfect earlier. I could have gone for what's her face. Good old Rukalos. I could have gone for her, but that's okay. For now though, let's all ahead and summon Spearhead the Ashen City. Nice little dude to summon out if your opponent's just like a big old monster. But that ought to be game right there. I probably should have put Emperor in defense, but what are the odds that's a battle trap? Come on, there's no chance. There's no chance. Or, conversely, it's sold at the Supreme King, which is almost as bad. But thankfully, Nibiru token's bigger than Zark is, and my opponent takes the burn damage. So, alright. No, unfortunately, I can't attack with that. Go Rock! Just go Rock. Just giant flying rocks hitting this Zark in the face. That's how they should have beaten Zark in the anime. They should have just summoned out Grimal Nibiru token. Oh yeah, this got destroyed. What's this? Oh yeah, it becomes a scale. I forgot. I mean, that would have been great if this duel wasn't over, but unfortunately for you, sir, it is. But you get an understanding what this deck is about. You know, we had a bit of a good scenario, though my opponent didn't start off with a little bit more. Pendulum Wizards can be tricky, but you get an idea of exactly what this deck's about. You know, we go from one strat to another strat to another strat. Depends entirely on what we draw into. But we're able to set ourselves up with a pretty interesting end board, and if I'd only had King of the Swamp, I could have gone for Rukalos, and that would have been even better, but, you know, it's a thing. You know, we have options. We have lots of different options. So, let's go ahead and duel in number 2, show off more of this deck can do, because there's still a lot this deck can do, and I want to show off as much of it as humanly possible. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. And aiming to try and go first this time. Okay, we'll let our opponent pick. That's fine. We'll let him pick. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what we have for an opening hand. Okay, pretty beefy on the Ashened opening here. And we're up against some version of Samorg, which could be bad, depending on where this is going. I've seen DD post before. What's this do again? Monsters gain cards of banish cards. Banish card from the hand, shuffle a banish card into the deck, banish, banish, banish. Okay, so it's some kind of banish deck is what I'm reading into this. It's one of them banishy decks that banishes cards, which I'm not a big fan of because I don't like my cards being banished. Unless I do it, of course. I have things for that too. This deck has all sorts of things. Like a be only one, you say. Well, that does stink a little bit. Luckily, I have some out to that, but not a lot. Not a lot of that, but some. Okay. So, monsters 300 attack for every card type among the banished cards. During the main phase, banish a card from the hand of the grave, shuffle a banished card. If this card is banished, do stuff. Protected your monster, and locked me out of stuff. Gotcha. I'm going to activate Inferno of the Ashened. This is my field spell searcher. What do you... Oh, yeah, you're banishing a card. Banishing a spell. Shuffle... Oh, you can banish pot and then get it back. I guess. Or at least that's what you were hoping to do. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and activate my Obsidian Ashen City. And let me think about this. I can only control one of everything on the bird. So a little tricksy that. So I'm thinking yes. We're going to activate our Extinguishing of the Ashen. Normally this is the thing I can get like any Pyro I want, but in this case we are just going to go ahead and grab Vados. ditching him to the grave, getting him back to my hand, that whole shenanigans. Very cool indeed. And let's see, we're going to special summon our Spearhead of a Chumba. And then I'm going to activate Vados' effect, popping Obsidian, to put this on my opponent's side of the field, which will then set me an Ashened card. Now, sadly, I cannot special summon an Ashened because he has, there can be just the one, which kind of stinks, and I am a Pyro. I have a lot of Pyros in my deck, so I can't do that part. Let me think about this. Let me think about that. Let me think about this. Let me think about that. Activate Spearhead of the Ashen. We're going to bounce his Kaiku. Does that at least get rid of something of his? You know what I mean? And we're going to summon out our Volcanic Trooper. Volcanic Trooper. And that way, I get Volcanic Emission for later. I can't use it until I get rid of There Can Be Only One, but it's still a body on the board in an emergency. I'll take it. Alright, so now what can my opponent do? We will see in a hot second. So for now, let's see. I could burn him too for like 3,100 points of damage if I needed to. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so what have we got? Morgan. I see. I see indeed. I'm going to activate my Ashen Endless, even though I can't play it at the moment. Just so I have it about. Just so I have it about. Alright, so DD Post. You're going to banish a card and get back a card. So essentially, as long as it's on the board, you can just recover like everything he wants once per turn. Once per turn, just get back one of your banished cards, sir. Kind of ridiculous, but whatever. Okay, you're going to go for the Morganite combo. Oh, I see how it's going to go. I mean, as much as you don't always like to see the troll decks, you have to give them some credit for, you know, creativity. You know, just a little bit. Not just a smidge of creativity to it, but it keeps things fresh with the troll decks. Not like with the meta decks, where it's literally the same things over and over again. Alright, but yeah, he's going to get his time throwing Morganite. Probably going to activate that in a hot second, because why would he not do that? Why wouldn't he do that? Unless he accidentally send it back to the deck. I've done that in testing, so I know that can happen. Get very excited searching at Morganite, and then you accidentally put it back in the deck. Which would not be good for him. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but, you know, that is a lot of draw power he'd be losing. And I'm going to go off on a limb and say that he did, in fact, manage to send his Morganite back to his own deck. Oh, you silly person, he did. Alright, well, now that you've linked off Vados, Vados going to nuke all the monsters on the board, sir. That's kind of how that card works. What the heck is this bird, anyway? Target monster control. Oh, no, he still has Morganite. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Target monster control, this card point, return to storm on the battle, draw another card. Cool. Very cool. What do we got here? Kaiku is back on the board. Let's see here. I think we're fine. Totally fine. I'm going to activate my trap card, Volcanic Emission. This will let me special summon a Volcanic from the deck. So I'm going to bring out my Volcanic Emperor. How about Chumba? This way my opponent gets spooked off. He ain't going to be attacking this turn. Now, my boy will go back to my hand in the end phase. But, you know, I got discard ability. I got discard abilities and things. But for now, we're good. So, yep, Emission returns this back to my hand. All's good in the hood. And I think it's about time we did some stuff about my opponent's nonsense. So we're going to go ahead and use Inferno's effect. I'm going to ditch DD Post because I feel like this guy wants this card. I feel like he kind of wants this thing, so I'm going to get rid of it. He'll still be able to recover one more card with it, but it's better than nothing. Better than nothing. So we'll get rid of that DD Post there. I really wish I had like one copy of Poly so I could actually discard King of the Swamp. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. It's like, it would be like a one-off combo. But it would make it easier to get this in the graveyard sometimes. Alright, so now he has Vados. Oh, yeah. That's what we're going to do. So now I've got Raina Heart. But I don't want to use it just yet. So I'm just going to set a monster and pass the turn and see where this goes. Now, we are in a bit of a time crunch now because my opponent is going to draw 2 cards every turn. This is not a good situation to be in. My opponent has all these draws and things, and he does not care about special summoning. So he can get all the floodgates he wants. Okay, there's a Time Lord in there. General Wayne of the Ice Barrier. What the heck is this in here for? Spell traps in the field, your opponent's grave are banished instead. Add ice barrier spell trap. Okay, so he's mostly doing this for floodgates. Okay, mostly a floodgate thing. Well, that's what one would expect. As I expect, nothing less. Okay. So a couple more floodgates, as one does in a floodgatey deck like this. We'll see. I really just want to get King of the Swamp, Gomsky. Once I do, I could use Reinhardt, ditch some cards, do some fusion summoning. Now, granted, under there can only be one that does become tricky, but I think I can still make this work. I'll think. I'm just waiting for him to actually destroy King of the Swamp before I do anything. Because I want this in the graveyard. That's where I want King of the Swamp to be. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Thou have destroyed my card. I will destroy your card now, sir. So I'm going to activate my card, get back Spearhead of the Ashen for later, and then I'm going to use the other effect of my Ashen Eternity and steal Vados back. My dragon is mine. And then I'll weaken your monster for a turn, even though that's not relevant, but it's a thing. It's a thing, you know. What if he had Red Eyes Dragoon or something? I could have weakened that. You never know. Alright, so he's got the lose a turn. That literally does nothing to me anymore. So that's good. Let me think about this. I'm going to think about that. I can't summon anybody at the moment, but I can summon out good old Reinhardt. So let's summon out our boy Reinhardt. That will get rid of another card in my deck, just to do a little bit of deck thinning, all that good stuff. And yeah, he's got the one trap. The question is, what is the other trap? Cool. Let's go ahead and ditch Tearlament's Catcher so I can mill out some more cards. I think this sounds like a good plan here. Pretty sound sounding plan here. Pretty sound, I have to say. What do we have? Solemn Strike. Really? You're gonna Solemn Tearlament's Cash? Okay, you do you, sir. You do you. I'm just gonna punch your monster in the face now. Hope you don't mind. Alrighty. So, getting ourselves back in control of this duel. It's slow going. You know, I could have gotten rid of there can only be one, and I'd like to do that if I can. Let me think. Oh, I should have left Tier Cash in my deck, because then I could have tribute summoned and gotten things back out. That would have been better. That would have been a little bit better, but what can you do? What can you do? I'd like to tribute summon is what I'd like to do. Just tribute these monsters off and then do from there. And I imagine this dude's got, well, Ryo, of course. Gonna have the floodgatey monsters. I imagine this is Pachycephalo or something. Probably. But actually, that could help me if this is Pachycephalo. If I just punch this monster and then... Because he's probably thinking I'm going to destroy his face down monster. But I'm not doing that. We're going to activate our Primeval Planet here for later. Shuffle our hand. Battle phase. Attack the set monster. Because my assumption, and I was right, it is Pachycephalo. Excellent. This is all according to my evil plan. We'll activate our Inferno. Get rid of there can only be one. To bring back Vados to my opponent's board, which I can steal back later. Sweet! Alrighty, now that that's all said and done, now I can start doing stuff again. So, let's think about this for a second. How many Pyros do we have in the graveyard? One. But I can fusion summon. But then again, he has lose a turn. So, my thought process here... let me double check some stuff. Let's see. Use a monster hand or field as material. I don't really want to do that, but it would be a bad idea. So I need more Pyros on the board is the problem. I can steal back Vados, but I feel like I should wait on that. Yeah, definitely gonna do that. So I'm just doing lots of thinking and thinking in my head, like, what is a good plan here? What is the optimal situation here? I think this will work, yeah, because so long as I can keep getting Vados around here. How did you get up here, dog? I got a foster dog that is a massive pain. Come here, Tracy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, you obnoxious animal. Come here. She's so dumb. She's adorable. She's very dumb. Yes, I know. You're not supposed to be up here. That's why I blocked the stairs. Alright, what do we got here? Regeki is doing its thing. Let me think about that. That's fine. I don't need Spearhead. Come here, then. I'm just so annoying, I tell you. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. This guy can enter his battle phase, waste the darn thing. I'm just going to keep stealing back Vados, because why the heck would I not do this? You know, waken your monsters, all the good stuff. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. I swear that dog, I gotta have to take her for a walk or something. I've already taken her for a walk. That's the problem. But now I've drawn into Sharon, and there are no more problems. Because she's going to ditch Volcanic Emperor for me. Yeah, I'm going to lose a turn, whatever. Don't really care that much. Not especially. So now, this lose a turn thing is really kicking my butt. So that's why we're going to get rid of the darn thing. So we're going to go ahead. Let me double check this. When special summon exactly one monster, send this card to the graveyard. You need to summon. I'm just sick and tired of this doing this floodgating nonsense. Okay, so we're going to activate our Inferno of the Ashened to get rid of lose a turn to bring back Vados. And then, let's see. No. I can pop Vados now. That's true. Is that the optimal thing to do? Who knows? I'm going to use Hero of the Ashen City to pop Vados. Go down! Slaughter the dragon! That'll activate Vados' effects to nuke all the monsters on the board. And then, I can summon out my Volcanic Emperor! Yeah! Take that, troll boy! Time for you to get roasted. Alrighty, there you go, folks. There you go. The Volcanic Emperor takes the win. Alrighty, that worked out very well. So far, we're doing like so much better than testing. Oh my lord, I must have had a bad day for testing. Also, all the many meta players. But let's go ahead. We got time for one more duel, and then my saved replay. I imagine my luck's gonna run out, but you never know. But I'm optimistic. Stay optimistic. But yeah, that is our. There is the fusion of Ashened and Volcanic, a match made in an Inferno. So let's go for our third duel and finish off strong. Alright, everybody, it's time for the third and final opponent, the fighting third, as we like to call it. All through, all in. What do we have for an opening hand? Ooh, we have Havness. No, Sharon. We have Sharon, who's like the best Tearlament to start out with. So we're going to summon out Sharon by summoning it to the board, ditching Tearlament's Catcher, because that's going to mill a whole bunch of cards. And something's activating, so that's good. Oh, yeah, Reinhardt activated. And Tearlament Catcher is activated, so let me think. Send a Tearlament from hand to the graveyard, which I do have. We're going to use a Catcher's Tearlament for now, try to mill out some more cards. I'm really trying to hit certain things. That's the thing with this deck. Certain things hit the graveyard, the hands get even better. Unfortunately, we didn't hit any of the cards we were kind of hoping to, which is sad news for me, but I will live with it. Anyway, we'll summon out Reinhardt here. We're going to go ahead and ditch ourselves a Murley. Doesn't really matter who we're ditching, but we'll ditch a Murley. We'll summon Kaleidohurt. We'll go ahead and use a couple of the cards in our zones. There you go. And we'll summon out Kaleidohurt, just so we have a nice little monster on the board to keep us nice and settled. We'll play our Forced on the board and see where it goes, you know. That's the thing with our deck. We've had some pretty good luck so far. This deck does have its moments where you just don't mill the cards you'd like to. There's just so many different engines in here. If I had just milled one King of the Swamp, or my Hexial Fusion, either one, I could have dropped Rukalos on the board. Thankfully, in the replay I actually dropped Rukalos twice. So, that's going to be neat. Alright, what are we up against? Don't care about the extra deck. I have a bad feeling I know what this is, because I had to run into this during testing, and it was not fun. Not fun at all. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. It is Enneacrafts, which I think is the most absurd archetype in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! History, because you have non-once per turn ability to reveal Pendulum to special summon everything from your hand, on top of burn damage, on top of I do anything, you do flippy monsters effects. So not necessarily good. That's what I'm trying to get to. This is not necessarily a good situation to be in. Now, one good thing, we already have a board established. We already have Kaleidohurt on the board. So I can beat over, like, a good chunk of his mod. Not all of them. You know, most of these are pretty small, but the big ones are rather large. So we'll see where this is going to go. And unfortunately, I don't have, like, the ability to, like, inherently attack directly. That would be helpful, because this deck pays a lot of life points to keep itself going. Let's see, yeah, and then it's going to bounce his pendulum scales. It's kind of ironic. It's also really stupid that this is a pendulum archetype, and they don't have the ability to pendulum. That's not the point. I don't know what the point of these being pendulums at all is, but they're pendulums. I guess it's like a reference to Cleaforts? I guess. Is that the whole deal? These are just like modern Cleaforts or something? I feel like that might be the case, but yeah, I don't think I can out this. Because he's going to get his giant scorpion dude, and yeah, all of these dudes have effects. Depending on when they are flipped up, they will do different things. So a rat tail here. Let's see, he's the one that floodgates stuff. And then you have Okanai over here, which is the one that can shuffle cards in the graveyard back in the deck. And then this one, when it's flipped face up, it destroys a monster on the field. All sorts of different... And this is the worst one, is the freaking whale-looking one. Because you can flip all my monsters face down, and then they're stuck like... It's literally Quaking Mirror Force. As a monster, they can flip itself face up when I activate a card... when you put an card or effect on the field during your turn, yes. So it's not a fun thing. It's not a fun thing at all. Because he can just reveal this. I don't know what he's summoning when. And again, I feel like this archetype is ridiculous. Because on top of it all, when he does start flipping things, these are all going to get counters. For every time something gets flipped up, these will both get a counter. And then end phase, he loses the counters. I'll take 900 points for every counter removed. And he can clear over 7,000 points easy, just having 4 counters on each of these. So, long story short, I'm probably going to get wiped out right now. So, it's been a good episode, everybody, but I'll see where this goes. I'm not just gonna quit. Well, why would I do that? Alright, let me think about this. I'm just gonna activate something and be like, oh, you're gonna destroy. Go ahead. Go ahead, you try-hardy little... So go to the meta server if you want to play this garbage. This is the casual server, gosh darn it. So what is this? Yeah, this is going to negate or whatever. Change this card face up. Okay, this is all that adds stuff. Negate the effects of effect monster put controls to the end of the turn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I really just wanted to summon a monster, if that's okay with you, sir. Go ahead. Summon something. I guess. Lord, I've seen like most of this archetype. I still do not know what their traps do. I assume that there's a trap in this deck. It's probably a floodgate. If I had to guess what Enneacraft's traps were, it'd be some kind of floodgate. Some sort. Negating... is this a pyro? No, these are machines. If I'm a field spell, that would have been great if I, could have just attacked with embers and beat over stuff, but sadly not the case. No! I should have known. Why must you use the sexy trap to stop me? No! Okay, well, I'm basically dead here. Essentially, I'm dead. He's going to remove the counters. I'll take some damage. And that's on the low end. But now he's going to... Literally all he has to do to win the duel. He doesn't have to attack. He doesn't have to activate anything. He doesn't have to do anything. He literally just has to flip everything face up now. He'll get all the counters in the world. Ends his turn. Just remove all those counters. And I'm dead. I'm just straight up dead. So, I'm not a big fan of this. This is like giving troll players everything they ever wanted. An archetype that has counters to most everything you could do. Because some of these protect from being nuked. Some of them protect from being targeted. See, like I said, he's going to end his turn like the big baby he is. You big baby! Alright. And let's go ahead. Let's show off that replay I have. And then we'll go for the end screen. Sounds good to me. everybody. So the Tears of the Ashened Kingdom did way better than I was hoping. It exceeded all my expectations. Like I said, in testing, I got hit with every other meta deck and every other Earth deck in the world. It was not fun. But you know what? Lady Luck was on our side today. We had to actually got some back and forth with a lot of people. Still running into those Earths. I don't care for them too much. They might be my new least favorite deck of all time. But that's neither here nor there. You know, we got to show off our deck. We got to summon out all the Volcanics. We got to summon out the motherfucking Ashened and the K9's and the Tearlaments and all the good stuff. Showed off a good chunk of this deck. There's just so many different things it can do. A whole lot of things in the X deck we didn't get to actually go into, sadly, because it's just a lot of setup with this deck. And this game is just getting so fast. But we had cool stuff like the Mermails we could have gone into. A whole bunch of these Exceeds. On rare occasion, you can make Paradise Smasher. Requires Azuna in combination with freaking Lupus, but you can do it. You got all those other things. Greedy Sarmaya, Hound, Gaia Stream. A lot of cool things in the X deck we didn't get to see as much. But for the most part, we got to see exactly what this deck is all about. Just fill up the graveyard with different things. Activate different effects to counteract your opponent. We're combining Aqua Monsters and Pyros thanks to Chaotic Elements to mess with our opponent. It's a deck that has a lot of different strategies. And it's not all focused on negation and stuff, so I really like it. So, hope y'all enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to smack that like button. Help contest the new YouTube algorithm, because now everything's different. Everything's different now. Or at least it should be by the time I upload this. I don't know, because I haven't gotten a notification yet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Here is the deck profile. Again, there will also be a download on our Discord for this deck if you play yugioh Pro. There's a YDK file on there. I just got to remember to put it up there. But regardless, thank you very much for watching. And here's the deck profile. Take it out and enjoy yourselves. So for main deck, 1 copy Vados, 1 copy of Volcanic Emperor. Here are our main bossy monsters. We have 1 copy of the King of the Ashen City. We have 2 copies of the Hero of Ashen City. 1 copy Tearlament's Cash. 1 K9 Lupus. 1 K9 Azuna. 2 copies of Jokel and Lantern of the K9's as well. That's our main package there. We got ourselves our Tearlament's Sharon. 1 Spearhead of the Ashen City. 2 copies of Tearlament's Reinhardt. 2 copies of Bream's Seamare, which is a really neat tech card in this deck as well. We have ourselves our Shaman of the Ashen City, 2 copies of Priestess Ashen City, 1 Tearlament's Havness, 1 Dark Hexial Fusion, 1 Volcanic Troopa, 2 copies of King of the Swamp, 1 copy of Tearlament's Melee. My concession of this deck is I felt like really needed it was Foolish Barrel, and I'm glad I did because it's really useful in this deck. So yeah, 1 copy Foolish Barrel in the deck, 2 copies of Chaotic Elements. Good old search them up in there. Good old Extinguisher the Ashen for searching and fusing. 1 K9 X-Force Liberation. Allows me to interrupt my opponent and all the good stuff. 2 copies Inferno of the Ashen field spells. We got 1 copy of Obsidian, the Ashen City. 1 Primeval Planet Pelorino. We got ourselves our Volcanics Emission. Our Ashen to Endless. Ashen to Eternity. And lastly, certainly not least, our spicy tech card, which is Firewall. For our extra deck, we have things like Mermail Abysslacia, Mermail Nephabis. We have number 5 Doom Chimera Dragon, Imperial Princess Kinkari, Paradise Smasher. Really nasty if you can start the duel off with this thing. We have our K9 Ripper. We have Greedy Sarmaya, K9 of a Hound, Gaia Stream, the Graceful Force, number 21 Frozen Lady Justice. We have K9 Werewolf. We have Embers of the Ashen City, Tearlament's Rulkalos, Kaleidahard. And last but certainly not least is Vados, the Dragon of the Endless Darkness. As for our side deck, there's some Tainted of Testinas and some Hounded Testinas in here. I'm not entirely certain why the Testinas are in here. Maybe Eric will actually explain that in the comments, don't know. But it's just like another engine sort of thing if you are up against certain different things. Oh wait, the Tainted Testina would be perfect for like that new art, the Enneacraft. This is perfect for that because they're all about summoning things face down. Granted, I'd rather play like Winged Rider or Sphere mode in that deck, but you know, either way, that's an option there. You got the just another engine if you want it, the Testinas. There's other actions if you want other copies of Shaman or Spearhead, that sort of thing. Yugioh is just here if you want to have fun with your buddies. We got some equip cards you can equip onto it, attacks directly. If it does damage, it gets bigger. And so long as it stays on the board, Yugioh just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So there you go. Then of course we have things like Val and the Super Sky Blaster, which can target face-up monsters and change your place down. Vespinal's got pierce damage. You've got Le Virtue Dragon, which we can on rare occasions make. We do have some level 3s in the deck, but it's another monster we can make. And we got that with Virtue Streams. You basically have an Icarus attack for a fish. We have, of course, our K9 Liberation. We have our Kingling of the Ashen if you want to negate there. We have some equips like Power of the Guardian and Dragon Nails, again, for making your monsters bigger if you haven't just need some raw power. You want to play around with Yugioh, that sort of thing. And lastly, it was Virtue Stream, as I already mentioned. So, that's the whole deck, everybody. Hope you very much enjoyed it. And next time on Yu-Gi-Oh, I think I really want to play Burning Abyss. I don't know why. I just really want to play Burning Abyss. I just want to play something I haven't played in a long time. So, thank you everybody much for watching. It's been a blast. I hope to see you guys again next time for more Yu-Gi-Oh action. Till next time, y'all stay safe and happy. And y'all have a good one. Take care, everybody.